So last time we did allergic conjunctivitis. We saw how we can use this as scheme sort of to navigate ourselves through the history of allergic conjunctivitis, and then the four important allergic conjunctivitis that we have to remember and how we can manage them. So the last important topic of conjunctiva are four diseases or four conditions. All of them begin with the letter B. You've already seen one of these before when we were discussing a certain conjunctivitis, but the rest three are different. Some of them are degenerative conditions, some of them are due to infections, and one of them is due to healing and scarring. So can anybody name those four conditions? अगर नाम वैसे पता हो.
Second wala penis है.
ठीक है, second wala is a penis. So we have one of the P's figured out. We've seen this picture before when we were discussing penis, when we were discussing trachoma. Fourth one is fourth one.
Pterygium.
Fourth one is a pterygium. And third one?
Pingicula.
Third one is a?
Pingicula.
Pingicula. And the first one? What is the first one?
Pterygium ही लग रहा है.
Pterygium ही लग रहा है ना? So, close. हम discuss करते हैं इन सारों को. So these are the four P's of conjunctiva जो confuse कर देते हैं किसी को या आपने पढ़े ना हो तंग कहते हैं. One of them is penis. We've discussed penis. This is a pingicula, and these two, they might be pterygium, they might not be pterygium. We will discuss them now. So let's start with the one we already know. This is a penis. So how do we know this is a penis? There are certain features of a penis which are evident in this picture, and also some features in the history or the context of the patient that tell us that this is a penis. So when we see this picture, what do we see, or what are the things that tell us, okay, this is a penis? So the first thing is, or the features in the picture are
vascularization of cornea.
Vascularization superiorly of the cornea, right? This is very important, the direction of the vascularization. Superior vascularization in the cornea, the first thing. The rest of the cornea is clear. Another thing which you might notice is that there's conjunctival hyperemia. Right? The cornea isn't normal. The conjunctiva isn't normal. It's congested, and it appears to be a diffuse congestion. So we know that what does this tell us? That this condition, that this penis occurs in a background, occurs in the context of a conjunctival or a corneal infection. And that infection, it needs to be chronic. Second, it's a history towards the context clue. So classically, we see penis in a trachoma. Penis is lymphovascular proliferation into the cornea. It is one of the corneal signs of trachoma. And whenever you describe the penis, the context clue, the history clue will be given that this vascular proliferation or lymphovascular proliferation into the cornea is occurring in the background of a chronic infection. So this is penis. Penis एक और disease में भी आपको मिलेगा, एक systemic disease में. When you're discussing rheumatoid diseases, वहाँ में भी आपको penis मिलेगा. Now this condition is a pingicula. So let's describe a pingicula. What do we see and where do we see it? क्या नजर आ रहा है और कहाँ नजर आ रहा है?
A white yellow nodule.
White or yellowish nodule. That's
on bulbar conjunctiva.
On the bulbar conjunctiva. On bulbar conjunctiva. Any other clue of location? और कहाँ पड़ा हुआ है?
Nasal?
On the nasal side. On the nasal side. And what is this area called? This area, if I draw the line between the inner canthus and the outer canthus, this area around the line,
Intermarginal strip.
around the intermarginal strip. Right? So this is apingecula. It's a degenerative condition of the cornea in which there's a yellow whitish nodule, a mass which typically appears as fat. ऐसे लगता है चर्बी देखी है आपने, fat, it looks like that. So it appears as yellowish whitish nodule in the bulbar conjunctiva on the nasal side around the intermarginal strip. So what is an important distinguishing feature between this picture and this? एक चीज पहली पिक्चर में है जो सेकंड में नहीं है, which is important as a context clue.
Vascularization.
Vascularization, there is no vascularization, that is correct.
Corneal.
Cornea बिल्कुल normal है. The thing I'm looking for is that there is no inflammation. Firstly, at the picture, can you see any inflammation? Are there any signs of irritation? Is there any conjunctival hyperemia, or circumciliary congestion, or signs of discharge or blepharitis? And none of them exist. There are some prominent vessels around the pinguicula, but that is due to this mass. But those are due to this mass, right? So an important context clue is that there is no inflammation. So when there's no inflammation, there will be no symptoms of inflammation. Patient of pterygium will present, will either be asymptomatic or they will present with a simple foreign body sensation or slight irritation in their eye. They won't have that, that history of conjunctivitis, which will be present in the context of a pannus. All right. So pinguicula is a degeneration of the conjunctiva, which appears as a yellowish or whitish nodule at the nasal side on the bulbar conjunctiva around the intermarginal strip. There's no vascularization, there's no inflammation. Hence the symptoms, they will, typically the patient will be asymptomatic. He will be referred to you by a colleague, by a family member, or if he's symptomatic, he will present with a foreign body sensation, slight lacrimation, or irritation in the eye. So this is our pinguicula. Now the pinguicula, it's written in a text that if the pinguicula is not treated, or sometimes what happens is that a pinguicula, it progresses into this condition. Right? Now this condition is a pterygium. What is a pterygium? Let's describe this lesion again. क्या नजर आ रहा है आपको?
Vascular.
It's vascularization, right?
Triangular.
It's triangular in nature. That's good. और क्या है?
Approaching the iris.
Approaching the iris. Basically, it's approaching the cornea. It's not inside the cornea, so we can't say it's approaching the iris. So yes, there's a triangular vascular proliferation approaching the cornea.
Nasal.
Triangular vascular proliferation approaching the cornea from which side?
Inner canthus. The nasal.
From the nasal side. The cornea from the nasal side. So the first things we've done, we've described our lesion. Now, secondly, are there any signs of inflammation? Apart from vessels, the congestion we see in this triangular lesion, there are no signs of inflammation. So the patient will not present with discharge. He will not present with discomfort. Of course, if it's occurring. No discharge, no redness in the eye, etc. So no typical signs of conjunctivitis will be present because there isn't any inflammation. What do you think the patient can present with looking at this lesion?
Decrease
Visual
vision.
defects.
Visual defects. कोई पुराने बोलते हैं, बहुत हल्की आवाज आती है मुझे उनकी, बहुत ही हल्की आवाज आती है। माइक दूर से ना रखा हो, आई थिंक लैपटॉप पे डायरेक्ट माइक यूज कर रहे हैं। तो यू राइट, विजुअल डिफेक्ट्स। Visual defects. Why are there visual defects? Because we can see that this triangular lesion, it's approaching the cornea, and when it approaches the pupillary area or the pupillar region, it can affect the vision. So the patient will present with visual defects if the lesion encroaches on the cornea. So this is our pterygium. ये है हमारा pterygium. It's a triangular vascular proliferation approaches the cornea from the nasal side. You have to remember this always. A pterygium, whenever a pterygium will be given, or whenever you're looking for a pterygium, always look for this clue that the pterygium will approach the cornea from the nasal side. All right. So the first thing. The second thing is that there are no signs and symptoms of inflammation. You can see the cornea and the conjunctiva, they're both normal. The cornea is normal except for this invasion of sorts, right? And lastly, that patient can present with visual defects because this thing, it's encroaching on the cornea. So when we define pterygium, we define it as simply as an encroachment of the conjunctiva onto the cornea. Okay, focus on what I'm saying. It's an encroachment of the conjunctiva onto the cornea. So this means that the conjunctiva is slowly invading the cornea from the nasal side, and it's growing to take place of the cornea. And the cornea आराम से बैठा हुआ, it's doing its own job, it's maintaining its vascularity, it's helping in vision, it's helping in refracting. And the conjunctiva, it suddenly decides that, all right, I like this space and I want to invade it. So this fibrous tissue, meaning a fibrovascular proliferation, invades the cornea from the nasal side. So it erodes the superficial layers of the cornea up to the Bowman's membrane. Bowman's membrane kya hoti hai, what are the superficial layers of the cornea, we'll discuss in a bit. So the visual defects in this case, they can be two things. One of them is the direct interference of light rays due to the opacity of this encroachment. All right. And the second is that we know that there's a normal corneal curvature. If this lesion, if this fibrovascular proliferation, it's encroaching onto the cornea and it's disturbing that normal corneal curvature, which condition will happen? What do you think will happen?
Astigmatism.
Astigmatism. ये जो इंक्रोचमेंट है, ये कॉर्निया को खींचती है एक तरह से, तो उसका नॉर्मल कर्वेचर खराब हो जाता है. नॉर्मल कर्वेचर खराब होगा तो उसकी वजह से एस्टिग्मेटिज्म होगा, which means that light rays are refracted differently in different things. So this is our pterygium. ये pterygium है. इसको ट्रीट कैसे करते हैं? If it's asymptomatic, if it's small, only around the margins, so we can monitor it. If it's large, it has to be surgically removed. Surgical procedure, it's not that important, and if I get the time, we will discuss it later on in our sessions. So this is the last P. Look at this picture. Does anyone know the diagnosis? क्या लग रहा है, क्या हो सकता है? So let's describe this lesion, all right? क्या नजर आ रहा है आपको?
Triangular mass.
It's a triangular lesion, right? Where is the apex of this lesion?
Towards cornea.
towards the cornea. Yes, that is the feature of pterygium. I also forgot to mention it. We can see it in the picture. I forgot to write down that the apex of this triangular lesion will always be towards the cornea. A pterygium will always arise from the nasal side, and its apex will always be towards the cornea. This is what you have to remember. All right, so we have a triangular lesion with an apex towards the cornea. और क्या नजर आ रहा है?
opaque कम है pterygium के
Opacity कम
मुकाबले में.
है, opacity कम है, बिल्कुल कम है. So it can be more opaque, it can be less opaque. Can you tell me something about the location of this lesion?
Lateral.
Coming from
Temporal
the
side.
lateral or the temporal side. So what we have is something which looks like a pterygium, right? Because it's a triangular lymphovascular proliferation with an apex towards the cornea. So it looks like a pterygium, but the first important part, it's arising from the temporal side. Right? So first thing is that it's arising from the temporal side. Secondly, look at the cornea. Is the cornea normal?
It's opaque.
Opaque. The cornea is opaque. So if you look closely at the cornea, you can see that there's something going round inside the cornea. All right. This is an intact. It's an intracorneal segment or intracorneal ring segment, which is used to treat keratoconus. So, what does this mean? It means that there has been a therapeutic procedure on the cornea, and if I further broaden this term, it means that there's a history of surgery. So this patient who had a surgery for a cornea for a keratoconus, he presented with a pterygium-like lesion, right? But it's arising from the temporal side. तो ये क्या है? चलो अभी थोड़ा सा और इसको डिस्कस कर लेते हैं. So there's a history of a surgery. So alongside or besides the history of a surgery, there can be a history of chronic inflammation, or there can be a context of scarring in the eye. Anything which causes scarring. We know that chronic inflammation or chronic conjunctivitis, it can cause scarring of the eye. Symblepharon cause करा सकता है, ankyloblepharon unlikely लेकिन हो जाता है. So आई में कहीं या फिर हिस्ट्री हुई होगी रिसेंट, या स्कारिंग होगी, या बहुत ऐसे से इन्फ्लेमेशन चल रही होगी. What this does that it actually causes some of the scar or the inflammatory tissue to encroach on the cornea. So our diagnosis in this case is something which looks like a pterygium, but it isn't a true pterygium. So it's a pseudopterygium. So this is a pseudopterygium. It means that it's a condition which mimics a pterygium, but it's not a true pterygium. How can we tell it's not a true pterygium? So when we discussed the pterygium discuss kiya tha, so an important thing was that there was no context of inflammation in the eye, no context or no history of scarring, no history of surgery in the eye. Right? It's a degenerative condition which occurs normally and which follows a pingacula. So there's a history of a preceding pingacula. The first thing. The second thing is that pterygium arises from the nasal side. It always arises from the nasal side. Whereas a pseudopterygium, it can arise from any side. कहीं से भी arise कर सकता है. And a pseudopterygium, it will be in the context of these three things: context of scarring, context of chronic inflammation, or history of surgery. तो pseudopterygium होता क्या है? Basically, in these three conditions, what happens is that there's inflammation, and inflammation, as you know, resolves by healing. तो कभी-कभी जब healing हो रही होती है, तो होता ये कि conjunctival tissue यहाँ से थोड़ा खराब था, यहाँ से थोड़ा corneal tissue खराब था. Healing के दौरान ये एक दूसरे के साथ चिपक गए, और उसकी वजह से ये एक vascular और fibrous mass, fibrous lesion यहाँ पर. Whereas pterygium was a degenerative condition in which the conjunctiva was encroaching the cornea, और degeneration उसमें superficial एक दो layers की हो रही थी उसमें. तो एक तो हमें location से पता लग गया, एक तो हमें पता लग गया history से. There's one other thing. There's another test we can use to differentiate between a pterygium and a pseudopterygium. किसी को टेस्ट पता है?
Probe.
Probe, a probing test. Probing test क्या है? Insert a probe. A probe can be any metallic stick, any metallic instrument which can be inserted into a cavity, an orifice, etc. That's a probe, right? So in this triangular lesion, we have an apex, we have a body. What connects the apex with the body is called the neck of this lesion. Now, we can see that this lesion is joining the apex and the body, they're being joined by this neck. And these are the limits of the lesion. So if I were to pass a probe beneath this neck, यानी कि मैं पास करना चाह रहा हूँ इस proliferation में और corneal surface के दौरान, obviously anesthetize करके, वरना patient पास ही नहीं करने देगा. So do you think that this probe should pass in pseudopterygium?
Yes.
Yes.
In this case.
Okay, this is one of the biggest differentiating features. The probe will pass beneath the neck of the pseudopterygium. ये apex है, ये neck है, ये body है. इसका ये मतलब है कि pseudopterygium यहाँ पे connected है, यहाँ पे connected है. दरमियान में encroachment नहीं है कोई भी, बस ये दोनों surfaces के दरमियान में superficially cornea से भी बाहर एक vascular और fibrovascular proliferation होगी जो इनको जोड़ रही है, इन दोनों को आपस में जोड़ रही है. और इस fibrovascular proliferation और cornea के दरमियान surface दरमियान space है, यानी कि cornea कई वाला areas के साथ attached नहीं है, इसलिए probe दरमियान से pass हो रहा है. This means that if I incise this pseudopterygium at this space and at this space, the rest will come off completely because it's not detached. So this is a very important test to differentiate between pseudopterygium and pterygium. Why? Because the pseudopterygium is formed due to inflammation, due to healing and scarring. और वही कहानी कि यहाँ पे थोड़ी सी inflammation होगी, यहाँ पे inflammation होगी और दोनों आपस में जुड़ गए होंगे और दरमियान वाला एरिया बिल्कुल normal होगा. A probe test can be used to differentiate between a pseudopterygium and a pterygium. This is a very high yield point, and this is asked in MCQs and bypass especially. Now, if I were to pass a probe at the neck, this is the neck, right? This is the apex, the area neck banta hai, this is the body. So if I were to pass a probe beneath the neck of the pterygium, will it pass? Or should it pass? No, it should not pass because this encroachment, it progresses gradually from this side. पहले इधर invasion की, फिर थोड़ा सा और अच्छा area लगा, इधर invasion की, इधर invasion की, and up to this area. So a probe does not pass. So the high yield fact we have, the high yield facts which we have discussed in differentiating a pterygium, pseudopterygium are: number one, a pterygium always arises from the nasal side, and it occurs. It's a degenerative condition. It can be preceded by pimecula, but there is no signs or symptoms of inflammation. Pseudopterygium occurs in the context of healing and scarring, and while it's also a triangular lesion, it can arise from any other side or any other area of the eye. Nasal wala rule nahi follow karti. The second thing, probing. A probe can be passed beneath the neck of the pseudopterygium because it's not adherent at that place to the cornea, whereas a probe cannot be passed beneath the pseudopterygium. इसके अलावा टेरिजियम के और साइंस एंड सिम्टम्स होते हैं. एक आप अगर आप पढ़ेंगे तो यू विल फाइंड अ स्टॉकर्स लाइन एटसेट्रा एटसेट्रा. दोज आर हाई यील्ड एंड यू हैव टू टेल देम, यू हैव टू रिमेंबर देम. तो अगर आप पढ़ेंगे you have to remember those signs. I'm not going to discuss them now. So with this, we're finished with the degenerations of the conjunctiva and the conjunctiva itself. Now we move on to the cornea. Cornea काफी खप topic है in simple. मुझे खुद इतना पसंद नहीं है because there's so many confusing terms and so much confusing literature. You get confused between the different types of keratitis and inflammations and what's an ulcer, what's an abscess, what's keratitis and all that stuff. So today we won't be discussing any case of the cornea. We'll discuss a general little bit about the corneal anatomy, and we'll discuss what the word keratitis actually means, what are the types of keratitis. Then we'll discuss the symptoms and the signs of keratitis and corneal infections or corneal lesions. And then we will draw a general flowchart, generally see how we can divide corneal lesions or corneal ulcers into different categories. And from the next session, we will start with our different cases. So when we discuss the corneal anatomy is very important. You have to remember the corneal anatomy. Conjunctival anatomy I didn't discuss in the start of the last lecture. It's also important and there are few high yield points, but the corneal anatomy, it specifically relates to our cases. और corneal anatomy में जो मसला होगा उसी हिसाब से हम आगे कुछ classifications भी करते हैं. So when we see the corneal anatomy, we can see that there are generally three layers. One is the epithelium, or what is exposed to the outside surface. Then we have a stroma. Then we have a Descemet's membrane, or something which is separating the stroma from the endothelium. So there are two epithelial layers. Epithelial squamous epithelial, or different types. One of them is epithelium, and one of them is the endothelium, and between them is the stroma. Now there's another layer called the Bowman's membrane, which separates the epithelium from the stroma, and then there's another membrane called the Descemet's membrane, which separates the stroma from the endothelium. The endothelium isn't given in this picture, so you might know that. So why are these different layers important? First thing, these are some points you have to listen closely. Epithelium is the layer which contains the cells and all of the regeneration of the cornea, all the cells of the cornea, of the epithelium. They arise from the limbus. The first thing. The second thing is that this is the Bowman's membrane. It's a columnar membrane which separates the stroma from the epithelial cells. And this Bowman's membrane, you have to remember, it's a high yield point that it does not regenerate. What is the implication of this? We will discuss it later on. Stroma. Stroma, it consists of fibers of proteinaceous depositions arranged in such a pattern that they are transparent. हमें अभी तो इस तरह we can easily draw कर सकते हैं, but when we see the cornea in real life, it's transparent, and it is due to the nature of this stroma and the position of their fibers that the cornea is transparent. Then comes the Descemet's membrane. It's very strong membrane, very thick, very rigid, and it separates the stroma from the endothelium. Now, a few high yield points. The epithelium is constantly exposed to the atmosphere, to air, etc. So it's the one continuously receiving abrasions, insults, etc. Normally, the cornea can regenerate and occurs. हम आम जिंदगी में भी इसी तरह हमारे साथ होता है. When we are living our lives, there's so many things happening. Some of the times we get dust in our eyes. Some of the times we can accidentally touch our eyes with our fingers. So small insults or abrasions, they constantly happen and they regenerate it. However, if something it insults the epithelium so much that the Bowman's membrane is also insulted or it's also affected, then the normal regeneration does not happen, and what we get is we get a corneal opacity. अभी हम नीचे discuss करते हैं. So stroma, we discussed that the proteinaceous material and all of that stuff, it's present in a particular manner. It's present in a particular manner, and that arrangement and that manner is what leads to the transparency of the cornea. Now, what maintains this transparency and the translucency of the cornea and the stroma? So there's one very important fact due to which the cornea is transparent. क्या है? It's very obvious.
No blood vessels.
No blood vessels, right? Cornea does not receive any blood vessels. It does not have any blood vessels. So if it does not have blood vessels, how does it heal? How does it get nutrition? कहाँ से आता है इसका nutrition? कहाँ से आती है cornea की healing? Aqueous humor. So blood vessels जो cornea को supply करती हैं, जब हम cornea की nutrition की बात करते हैं, so the air and the oxygen, they come through the epithelium. जो blood vessels हैं, उस limbus पे आके खत्म हो जाती हैं, जो भी हम conjunctiva पे देखते हैं. तो वो वाली blood vessels limbus पे जब खत्म होती हैं, तो वहां से वो limbal cells को supply करती हैं. तो जब अगर यहाँ से कोई सेल खराब होते हैं या सेल्स में डिसकंटिन्यूटी आती है, तो इनको रिप्लेस करने के लिए जो सेल्स आते हैं वो लिम्बस से माइग्रेट करते हैं. सेकेंडली, जो भी न्यूट्रिशन चाहिए होता है कॉर्निया को, वो एक्वस ह्यूमर के जरिए आता है. इलेक्ट्रोलाइट्स, न्यूट्रिशन, ऑल दैट स्टफ. एंड एन इम्पोर्टेंट अच्छा न्यूट्रिशन अगर एक्वस ह्यूमर से आता है, तो वी नो दैट दिस फ्लूइड, एक्वस ह्यूमर इज फ्लूइड. There's electrolytes, there's water, there's H2O. So why does this H2O or why does this water, it stays away from the stroma of the cornea? Why doesn't it penetrate into the stroma? Stroma में पानी क्यों नहीं है? क्यों नहीं आता? Why is the stroma dehydrated? There isn't any water in the stroma. Epithelial cells भी ऐसे हैं, पानी इनमें नहीं आता. There's no H2O, even though they're right besides the aqueous humor. And we know that if there's passive diffusion or osmosis, then water should cross the endothelium and the decimates membrane and come to the stroma. It's natural gradient. क्यों नहीं आता? It's because the endothelial pumps. Endothelial cells, it's a single layer of endothelial cells. There's a single layer of endothelial cells below. And these cells, what do? They constantly pump out any water which is coming into the stroma back into the aqueous humor. What am I saying? Why are these things important? Because they eventually relate to the signs of corneal lesions. अभी हमने डिस्कस किया कि ब्लड वेसल्स नहीं है, न्यूट्रिशन लिम्बस की वेसल्स से मिलता है. लिम्बस पे आके वेसल्स खत्म हो जाती हैं. So if there's any sort of need for the cornea, तो हाइपरीमिया, अगर कॉर्निया में वेसल्स नहीं आ रही, तो उसका हाइपरीमिया कहाँ है मैनिफेस्ट होगा? और where will be the congestion manifested, which will tell us that all right, the infection or the inflammation is most likely at the cornea. It will be a circumciliary congestion. ठीक है? Circumciliary congestion इसलिए होती है because those are the vessels which are supplying the limbal cells. Limbus पे जो cells हैं, और limbus वाले cells नहीं आप center में आके regenerate करना. These endothelial pumps are important because if these endothelial pumps dysfunction, we can have edema or hydration of the stroma, and that can present as an opacity. So these functions they relate to the symptoms and signs of corneal lesions. So these are the 5 layers. अब आगे मैं सेशन खत्म करने लगा हूँ. मैं फौरन वापस आ जाऊंगा. Zoom का update, or there's an update in Zoom due to which I can immediately resume sessions. So then we will discuss the lesions or the definitions of these different lesions. All right, I'll be back in a minute.